Yeah, we can. Hi everyone, Jai Mohanji. Uh,
Hey,
it's
Mohanji.
so Jai Mohanji. I'm so excited actually because every Monday now I so eagerly look forward to the session. The experience sharing, and I hope more and more people join or watch us on YouTube, which is on the Mohanji and I YouTube page. You can watch us live there, or you can watch a recording. And these episodes today is the eighth one actually. It's going so. I'm just loving it because it's so interesting, and people are coming in with various kinds of experiences, such authentic experiences, which proves, the stature of Mohanji, I would say. And so today we have a very, very, very special guest from the MYC, Megan Rose, and she's been with Mohanji for a while in Bangalore, also in the ashram. And right now she's in South Africa. For those of you who don't know her, so Megan, warm welcome to you, and thank you for agreeing immediately to come on to the session and share your experience and your testimonial. So, welcome, Megan.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really happy that I got this opportunity and you asked me because I always love to share my experiences with Mohanji.
So, would you like to start reading and sharing your experience, and then maybe we can discuss a little further on that, and more experiences probably you'll remember as you read.
Yeah, so when you asked me, I kept remembering this one specific experience, which really changed the course of my life, I would say. I just want to give a little more info than what I put in my testimonial. Actually, this was my first ever testimonial I ever wrote. So actually in 2020, it was April, and I got connected with Shirdi Sai Baba. Actually, one of my friends was telling me to pray to Lord Hanuman at the time, and when I had looked up images of Hanuman, because I really connect through art and images, I saw hundreds of images of Hanuman, but there was one of Shirdi Sai Baba, and I had no idea who this was, by the way. No
Wow.
idea who that is. And when I clicked on his photo, I physically felt that he was looking through me. And after looking at a few more images, I just started crying. I felt like overwhelming love. And I didn't really know much about masters, but I had one other friend who had a master, and I just shared what was going on with me. And a couple of my friends who had gurus just said, "Oh, it's happening for her," and I didn't know what do they mean. So my connection with Shirdi Sai Baba was really deep. I mean, he was like appearing everywhere. Like suddenly I'm in the car, I'm looking out the window, and there's a Shirdi Sai Baba temple, which I had never seen before, or keep appearing. Then he would start appearing in my dreams. And I guess over a year after this connection happened again in this life, I just started feeling like I don't know what's going on with me anymore because I was going through a lot, of course. And I just told Sai Baba, please, I need someone that I can physically talk to. I'm sure there's lots of fakes out there. So please send me yourself in another form or someone connected to you that I could trust. And I forgot to mention that a month after Sai Baba appeared, I met a Satya Sai Baba devotee who sent me Mohanji's videos. So just 1 month after Shirdi Sai Baba appeared, I knew about Mohanji, but I didn't take him as my guru at first. But I loved Mohanji because I just felt a resonance. He would say things that I thought in my head in his videos. So that's why a year and a half or whatever amount of time later, I told Sai Baba, please, I need somebody I can talk to. And then I thought, oh, maybe it's gonna be Mohanji. So now it's 2022, and I saw that Mohanji was coming to the USA, but I couldn't go to the retreat he was doing at the time. So I just accepted, okay, we're not meant to meet, it's fine. And one day I was just like sitting on my computer planning a trip to Sedona, Arizona, and something in my mind told me check Mohanji's website one more time. And I saw he was coming to New York and New Jersey. The next week, I was screaming. I really was so excited. I couldn't believe it. And I told Sai Baba, I don't know which event I should go to. So I'm gonna email the team, whatever flyer they send me back, I'll go there. They emailed me back only the New York flyer. So I thought, okay, I need to go to the New York satsang. So I went. Actually, my mom came with me, and I just remember after the satsang, going up to Mohanji, and I knew I may never see him again. I'll just ask for a hug. That's all I want. And I went up to him, and basically I said, "Oh, I've been watching your YouTube videos," and he cut me off. And he was like, "Did you understand my message?" And I said yes, and he gave some more advice, and then a moment later, I just looked at him and I said, "Can I hug you?" And he got up like all cheerfully and he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh my God." And he's on the purest white cloth. I'm in my dirty sneakers. So I'm like, "Can I step on this?" He's like, "Yeah." And then we hugged and he just like rubbed my back and said, "I love you and we're always connected." And I was like, "What does that mean? We're always connected?" And then again, I'm like, "Oh, we might never see each other again." So I said, "I love you." And I turn and Taya and George are flashing the cameras, like taking the photos. And then I just left. And I think a couple nights later, I start having dreams of Mohanji changing forms from himself to Satya Sai Baba into some white man I don't recognize. And I was really confused, what is going on? And the reason why I'm mentioning all these things is because I had a really bad guilt afterwards. Because now here I am with Sai Baba, who to me I felt was God, and I had waited. At that point, I was 24. I'm 30 now, so I felt like I had waited 24 years for this moment. And what if I'm about to do something wrong? Because what if I only focus on Mohanji? I was really like stressed, okay? And I was very stressed about that. And now it's around the fall of 2022, around like September, October time. And I decided to get my tree sessions for the first time. And we were supposed to do five. And in the second session, the practitioner started, she was doing it over the phone with me. And I just remember when she started, I felt my body heat up and it went from that golden my tree light to red. And I could see the silhouette of somebody else's eyes and I knew that I felt it was Sai Baba and I started crying. And I didn't tell her this, but she called me afterwards and she goes, "I don't know why Sai Baba came. And he said this message and maybe you'll know what he's talking about. But he said, uh, Megan's connected to my consciousness, but she should listen to Mohanji now. I speak through him." And I was absolutely stunned. And after that, I never thought about that guilt ever again. It just completely left me. I no longer had that deep trouble of, oh my God, am I gonna like betray Sai Baba? I'm like cheating Sai Baba by focusing on Mohanji. So now we just, after the fourth session, she said, "I think you're doing well now. Let's give it a month. We won't do that fifth session. Let's just see how it goes." So now it's November 2022, like a month later. And this Mohanji Acharya from the US, her name's Bhavani, she kept inviting me to an event. And at first, I wasn't sure if I should go only because it was an hour away. I had my Himalayan School of Traditional Yoga classes online, and I thought I'm going to miss half the event. But she was really insisting that I go. And I'm like, okay, I must go for some reason because she's not taking anything else for an answer. And the day before the event, she just says, "We'll start when you get there." I'm like, "Whoa, I'm really supposed to go to to this event." And mind you, I had never gone to a Mohanji Acharya hosted event before. I only met Mohanji and did some volunteering online. So now I'm going and I'm driving the car an hour away. And the event was that we would do conscious gapless breathing, which I had never done. And we would do power of purity, which I had done, with Mohanji energy transfer, which I never got. So in my mind, I thought, oh, maybe something will happen with Mohanji energy transfer. Sounds so interesting. And then we're about to start conscious gapless breathing. And she's saying, guys, you might feel a little bit nervous, a lot of tingling. Some people are nervous, they'll pass out. I don't think she realized she was like making me nervous. What's gonna happen to me with this breathing? I'm like very nervous. And we do the conscious gapless breathing. Oh, I was definitely tingling, but I didn't pass out. And then we lay down, and she has us go through a 10-minute relaxation, and she plays this amazing song with a Hare Krishna, Hare Rama chant. And as she's just giving the instructions of how to deeply relax, I felt someone is doing a Maitri on me. And this Maitri was the strongest Maitri I ever felt in my life. I actually felt that the gravity was pulling my body to the floor, but the real me inside my body was getting weightless, like that feeling on an airplane. And I was like, oh my God, I laughed, but I was also nervous. Am I going to leave my body? What's going on? But at the same time, it felt so peaceful and very strong. And as she's winding down, we're supposed to come feel our bodies again. The Maitri winds down like in synchronicity with her. And she asked us to sit up. I remember sitting up, and I'm just eagerly waiting to ask her, did you do Maitri to me? And then she finally asked me, how was it for you? And I said it was very good, but did you do a Maitri on me? Because I felt someone did a Maitri. And she said, no, it wasn't me. It was Mohanji. He astrally comes to these events. And I was amazed. I can't explain how this felt. I didn't even read my testimonial, but um, I just remember that after that we went to a Sai Baba temple in New Jersey. And we just went, we had some time together with her and her family. And then when I sat in the car by myself to go home, I just remember thinking, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna try to do conscious gapless breathing by myself again, and hopefully Mohanji will do the Maitri. uh, I did try several times. It never happened. But it really was a huge deal for me because after that, I completely started focusing on connecting to Mohanji inside. I really was yearning for that connection inside because I didn't have any kind of physical communication with Mohanji, any kind of messaging. I wasn't seeing him at events. Um, and I think I just started trying to connect as much as possible. And the other shift for me was I used to study Vedic astrology. I joined a tradition. I was studying Jyotish 8 hours a day. I was very obsessed for a couple of years. But after Mohanji did that Maitri on me, I didn't even want to study astrology anymore. I still love astrology. It's just I felt there was a huge shift in my focus that I need to focus on this now. I don't want to study anything else. So after work, I would just start making videos of Mohanji. So many things started changing in my life after this Maitri. I can go on forever, but this was a huge moment for me, these Maitri sessions.
Amazing, Megan, because I was about to ask you, how old were you then? And you said it promptly. I was 24 when all this happened. And for those of you watching, this is a testimonial which Megan had written. It is called Internal Weightlessness. I think you wrote it in December 2022. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, so this is an amazing thing. And I love the part where you thought you would do the CGB on your own. And and expect Mohanji to, he's the most unpredictable guru we could ever have.
Yeah.
What you expect from him will not be there. So how has your journey been since then? You were with Mohanji in Bangalore. How was it for you there?
Yeah, well, um, around this time, I think these experiences happened with the Mai tree. I think Mohanji also had his car accident. And I remember when that happened, um, just feeling like, well, I really don't know if I'll ever see him again now. I'm just going to take it that I might not. And I just started trying to connect as much as possible inside. And I remember when the connection started getting more metaphysical, I had been doing this Shiva Panchakshari sadhana, where basically you chant Shiva mantras to cleanse all the five elements in your body, a morning and the evening. And one evening, this now I'm going into another testimonial, but it's significant. One evening, I'm chanting facing my Sai Baba tapestry, and when I was looking at Sai Baba, I just felt, oh, like very strongly that almost like I'm looking at myself, and Sai Baba's also part of me. And it was very nice feeling. And the next day, I was driving home from my dad's apartment, and I got that feeling again. And I thought, oh, I need to like park my car. I need to sit and just relax. So I parked my car and I relaxed. And this time I felt it's not Sai Baba. Actually, it's Mohanji. And that I'm inside Mohanji, like I can't explain it, that the whole world is Mohanji and I'm inside that. And then also Mohanji is like within me. And when I closed my eyes, I just saw Mohanji meditating in my heart. And I just started talking to him inside. And actually, he would answer, but only when my mind was very quiet, not when emotions would start bothering me. Um, so that's it. And then as this metaphysical connection was building, I started getting the idea to make videos of Mohanji with his quotes. I had only made two videos probably ever in my life before that. So I wasn't really so familiar, but it just was happening. And as I started making the videos, I was wishing, can I do stuff for Mohanji official social media? And 2 hours later, Taya messaged me, want to join Mohanji official media team? And I was like, yes, I do. So that started, and then uh, I was going to Bangalore for the Himalayan School of Traditional Yoga Training now that's March 2023. And I wasn't sure will I get to see Mohanji or not, but I just messaged him on Instagram. And I said I'm in the same town as you. Like I cannot stop thinking about you, and that's it. And he didn't reply. 4 days later, they they announced that we will go to his home. So I got to spend one evening with Mohanty in his home. Then I had to go back to the USA. And I was just I felt I need to go. I need to live with Mohanty. I need to travel with the team so badly. And one day I told my dad I'm gonna go back to Bangalore. I really want to see Mohanji, but I don't know. Does Mohanji want me to be there, or do I like need to do something huge, like huge volunteering? And then Mohanji had sent me a message, and he just was replying casually, but I knew inside my mind, no, it's because of what I said to my dad, isn't it? And later on, he confirmed it. But basically, I told him I'm coming to India, and can I come and stay with you? And he said yes. And then now it's May 2023. I'm in Mohanji's home, and I just told him, I said this to my dad, and he's like, "Yeah, I heard, I heard it," and he points to his head. So I got to live in Mohanji's home for 10 months. After that, I started traveling. I worked at the Australia MCB for a few months. Then I was in Malaysia. Then I was back in India in Mohanji's home. And then I was in the USA MCB for a while. Then I was helping Mohanji Texas team. Uh, Now I'm in South Africa. So a lot has happened. But one of the biggest blessings was being able to live with Mohanji after, as you can see, this journey going from thinking I will never see him again to focusing metaphysically and then being able to live together. Um, yeah.
And not only that, Megan, it's the way you were able to kind of, you're now a pro with video making and all that, all the Kailash videos which you make, they're amazing. They're simply outstanding and beautiful. So, it's like a skill that you developed and, you're now you're able to do so many things. I remember meeting you then, and I remember, and I can see the difference in you, the beautiful transformation, the young, confident, and bright Megan now. It's lovely to see that. And as you were talking, my experience with Mohanji has been very similar to yours. First meeting, I wanted to go and hug him, and he said yes. And then after that, again, like you, I had the same doubt about Sai Baba and Mohanji. And in a dream, actually, Baba came and literally handed me over to Mohanji. So he said, he's your guru in this life. So there are many experiences like this, for many of us. And I'm sure people will be able to connect with this because this is something, it is so, it's not that you asked for it or something. It happened. It happened
Yeah.
organically. Everything. Baba came into your life organically at such a young age, and you were able to see the difference. So it's so amazing, really. And if any of you want to share anything, ask Megan any question, please do so.
I have a question.
Okay, Aarti, you continue.
Oh, sorry. Go.
Continue.
I happened to meet Megan in Bangalore that time, and we were just sitting together. I think we were waiting for something, and we had a lot of time to talk. And then I also wrote your testimonial in my book, Mohanam. So I know a lot. But there is this part which is not written, I think, and I don't know if you want to share that with us. But there was a part, from when you were young and you went through so much and then you were there. So that part for me, that was very important. I got goosebumps all over when you started talking. And, we can see you sitting here and you just randomly say, okay, I called Monji or I texted Monji and I asked him to come. But so much had happened before you dared asking that question even. And then you dared asking that question. That's not something what anybody does, Oh, Monji, can I come and live with you? It's coming from somewhere. So I'm very curious if you want to share something about how your life started and then from there you got here. I mean, you cannot, of course, make a biography now today, but maybe
Maybe
you can
one day.
outline what you want to share.
Yeah, sure.
I'm
I'll
sure
try
one
to
day
be
she will write a book also.
Yeah, I'll try to be a bit brief so others can, have time to ask me anything you want. But I grew up in a Christian household. But I can't say it was like one of those heavy duty, strict, super strict kind of Christian household, but still that influence was there. And ever since I was young, I would kind of question it. I wasn't atheist. But I just remember in my teenage years when I started feeling, I feel like I have to be perfect or I'm gonna go to hell. And I remember I was taking a bath and I was thinking to myself, this can't be. I really feel that there's this formless God out there that will love me no matter what. And then I stopped focusing on Christianity and that stuff for some time. And then when I was around 21, I don't know, I just wanted to do my own searching. I wanted to make sense of all these things myself. And somehow I came across the Upanishads. And when I read them, I felt this is for me. This is what I believe in. And I would start comparing what it would say to what it would say in the Bible. And I thought, this is like incredible. This is amazing. And I started doing these guided meditations, hoping my guru will appear or like a spirit guide. Not exactly a master, but a spirit guide, because that's all I kind of knew at that point. And no one would ever appear. So that's why when Sai Baba's photo appeared for me, that's when I knew, okay, this is it. But all the meanwhile, I guess what you're really trying to ask me to share is that my upbringing wasn't uh, so nice all the time. When I was 2 months old, my parents had like left me in the stroller in the snow, and I was put into foster care. Luckily, very soon my cousin had adopted me. So I've been with my cousin on my mom's side my whole life. But there was a lot of anger in my household. My family members were doing drugs. They had a lot of baggage that they were carrying themselves. So I never really had a strong sense of belonging most of my life, I would say, until I lived in Mohanji's home. And when I saw how his parents accepted me, because for 6 months it was just me and his parents, Mohanji was traveling the world. And at first I came into the house thinking, what are they going to think about this random American girl who's like staying in their home? And then I just thought I'll start being myself with them. I start joking with Amma and Achin, and they got a kick out of it. And we would eat all of our meals together. I would do anything they needed. Just naturally, I just thought if the doorbell rings, I'll get up, I'll get it, I'll get the mail, answer the phone calls, like whatever they need. And I saw that they were enjoying my company. And the biggest difference was after Mohanji came home from traveling. He told me one night, Achin never says anything about anyone, but he said you're doing all the arties with a lot of love and you're the most disciplined. And that meant so much to me. And I just told him, sometimes I have trouble believing people love me. And he said, no, they do love you. And so I go downstairs. I don't remember if this was the same day. It might have been. But I go downstairs and now they're planning for Shirdi with Mohanji. And Amma had asked me, are you going? And Preeti Dougal said, no, Amma, she's staying back. She's going to take care of you. And I looked away for one moment. And then Mohanji points to me and he goes, see, they do love you. And Amma was crying. And like these moments were really hitting me, that this has really become my home away from home. Taya, Millie, and the whole team, they want to spend time with me. They're treating me like I'm their own. So it was a big deal. Being in that home made me really see, Mohanji family gave me that sense of my family now. And it's expanded now. I feel that same way with everyone around the world. And I'm super grateful because it wasn't like that for me before then.
That's
And
amazing,
I got the
really amazing.
goosebumps.
Yeah, it's amazing because the love that Anna and Achin shower on everybody and the easy acceptance where you really feel that you are home. It's your home, that kind of a feeling. And you got what you had lacked earlier, probably through Mohanji and Amma and Achin also. So, anything more you'd like to share about Achin particularly, because we are all very fond of him and we've all had our moments with him and how lovely and kind he's been, and so also Amma. Amma has always been the Amma for the world, right? So, can you share something?
Well, I feel like Achin, for the most part, is a man of few words. He would not speak, but you always feel his presence when he's around. And we would just do all the arties together, our meals together, go for walks sometimes together. I guess, to be honest, the most memorable thing for me is that the last time I saw him, he was a bit ill, and we kind of suspected that his time will come. And also, Achin knew. He would say to me, "I really hope that I see you again, but I don't know if I will be here." He was really aware. He would say that quite often because when I was planning to leave the last time, he really wanted like my last night there to be special, which was really nice of him. And so sweetly, they bought us cake and we all ate it together. And it's actually on video, which I'm super happy about, like our last time eating cake. And uh, now I have this photo somewhere on my Instagram, but he was hugging me and he just told me he had loved me. And I said, I love you too. And I'm so happy about that because then when I was in USA, MCB, I remember it was Coom and someone had reached out to me to tell me, oh, Achin had died. And I did cry because, so much of that time together. And even though we kind of suspected it, you never really know when it's going to happen. But then I was going through those videos and I was remembering how he said, I love you the last time, and I got to say that back, and I was really grateful for that. But I'm pretty sure that Achin knew that he was gonna die, and he had that awareness.
Yeah, that's true. Such beautiful moments with Akshin and Amma. Even now with Amma, it's still the same, the smile, the warmth, and the hug that she gives all the time when we meet her. It's so beautiful, really. Thank you, Megan, for actually opening your heart and really, sharing so many things because all of us go through so many issues and things. And suddenly, when we find an anchor in our life, the form of a guru, it makes a big difference. It's a huge difference. And then you find yourself stabilizing, you find yourself walking the path, and you find yourself having more clarity and a sense of purpose. So it's really beautiful. And anybody else would like to share? Pooja, you want to say something or other? Samrita, Shah, anybody?
I have a I have a question. Like all of us, most of us rather, started getting connected to Mohanji when we were in a much mature age, when we had experienced a lot in our life. But you were a kid, 24-year-old for spiritual journey. I would suggest as a kid, unless there is a past connection. There's no there's no other logical reason why we can say that such a young child is, you are searching for a guru or you are searching for a peace. So, like you said that you never felt that belongingness, the reason that you started. But is there a way where you would say that kids who really need some support, what should they do when they want to get into spirituality? Any specific thing that you did, it was just because you had that specific intention of searching for a guru or searching for peace that you got into? What would you say to
Mm.
the young kids in similar situation?
Yeah, well, how I did it is I just was trying to make sense of what do I believe in rather than what someone else is telling me. And my plan originally was I will search like through Christianity, and then maybe I'll do a little bit of research into other religions, not for me to necessarily become religious, but for me to make sense of these things I was told growing up. I guess how I did it as a young person is I just did my own research. I don't know if I should call it that. But then I had looked up where does yoga come from, and that's when I found the Upanishads, and that's how I found what resonates for me. And then my view of spirituality started changing through reading the Upanishads, and then of course, luckily getting to Sai Baba coming to my life. I shouldn't say I found him; he found me. And reading the Sai Satritra, then I understood even more how Jesus operates. It's like a freeing experience because I really remember the day I told myself, I'm going to take this leap of faith. I'm going to do my own research. I'm not going to believe that I'm going to hell for doing this because I know for other people that is a really strong mental, mm, I don't know if I should say blockage. I don't know if I want to call it that, but it's really hard for people to get past because of the fear. So I think young people just need that space to be themselves and see what works and resonates for them, and to find some group or person like Mohanji who doesn't ask anything from you. Yeah.
So come with an open mind, search for your own peace. That is your
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
That is also, what Mohanji always says, walk the path and experience it. And
Yes.
that's exactly what you were doing spontaneously. It was like the deep connection also shows. So yes, anybody would like to share anything similar to what was with Megan and how you found Mohanji? Anything you can share. You like any of you would like to share? Okay. Great. Okay, Megan, how about some interesting anecdotes with Mohanji? Something funny, something nice. You would have had some experiences. You lived with him for 10 months. Anything you
Uh,
remember?
I'll share one thing that just came to my mind that I thought was hysterical, and I really wish that I had recorded it, but I didn't. I don't know if you know the show The Chosen, but I love that show. It's based on Jesus and his
Yeah.
apostles. And I had actually been watching that show in Mohanji's home while he was away. And I loved it. And Mamansa was living with me at the time, and even she was getting hooked. She would say, "Oh, I'll just watch 15 minutes." An hour goes by, we watch the whole episode. And okay, then I finish all the seasons. Mohanji comes home, and one night I have a dream that suddenly there is this very tall man that's Jesus in front of me, like huge. I must have been 7 feet. And then I got the feeling, oh, you're Mohanji? And he says, yes, I'm Mohanji. And then I woke up. Now Mohanji is downstairs, gonna eat breakfast. And he starts talking about Jesus and Krishna. And I thought he must be playing with me because he starts talking about, that story of if somebody hits one cheek, turn the other. He was like, no, I follow the teachings of Krishna. If somebody punches me, I'm gonna punch them back. And I don't know why it was hysterical for me. I thought he must be messing with me right now because of my dream. Yeah. Um,
Oh no,
that's
that was hilarious. On his
yeah.
sense of humor, really. And he knew exactly what you had been thinking or what was there in your dream. And yeah, it's so
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Megan, for that. Anyone else would like to ask anything?
Anything about like
Anybody?
people who live closely with Mohanji, they experience his funnier side, the relaxed Mohanji side, which not Mohanji doesn't fit in that structure of a regular guru. So anything of that sort.
Do you mean you want me to share like the times Mohanji relaxed or the times that we got the scolding? I don't know, which one are you asking?
Whatever suits you.
I will say that living with Mohanji, it's not like, in my experience, uh, it's not like people are getting scolded every single day, but there are times when we are getting scolded. Otherwise, there have been times where it's just a relaxation. I I, for most of the time, was always hosting the guests, so I was always in charge of that, getting the tea, the biscuits, greeting people, making sure they get home. Those are like relaxed times. Getting Mohanji whatever he needed. But I will tell you, when Mohanji scolds one person and we're all serving him at the dining table, it feels like everyone just got scolded. So those times are intense. I remember once, I'll share this one thing. I was supposed to give him some medicine, but I wasn't in charge of the medicine. So I made an oopsie that instead of giving the proper medicine, I gave the wrong thing. Now I'm standing behind him, serving him breakfast, and he goes, "What is this? Who is messing with my health?" I'm like, "Oh no, oh no." I just said quietly, "Mohanji, this person asked me to give you your medicine, and I guess it's the wrong thing." I can't remember how exactly I said it, but I just whispered. Now this person I'm talking about comes down the stairs, walks past him. Mohanji takes the painkiller, chucks it at that person, and is screaming. Now then everything is chill, but I am like sweating, and now he's getting up, he has to go wash his hands. I need to give him the towel. So he's drying his hands, and I just said, "Mohanji, I'm really sorry. It's my fault. I should have like double checked." And he whispered back to me, "No, it's not your fault. That person should have supervised." I'm like, "What?" I really thought, guys, I really thought I will get the screaming of my lifetime. No. And I even texted that person, "I'm so sorry." Her reply was, "Ah, it's okay. Happens all the time." Yeah, so these things happen. Even I got to serve him in Slovenia recently. This time was very different. I hope you don't mind I'm sharing more, but this time was very different than in the past because Mohanji even said in 2024 that in 2025 onwards, he will speed up. And I really felt that in Slovenia. Even if my own emotions were coming up in his presence, there's no time to sit and sulk and process. And it's actually better because everything is happening so fast. You need to like grow out of those emotions. They will be there, but you have to stay on track. And sometimes, even if you make a mistake, you know you had the best intentions. Sometimes things do go wrong, but you have to get back up. You have to keep going because you want to do your best when Amanji's around. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Really, now that we are laughing, but at that point, I can understand how you would have felt because I'm sure all of us have received scoldings at some point or the other. But it's always a beautiful learning, and Mohanji never scolds the person per se. He just removes something, or
Yeah.
it's the action that is the issue there. I've noticed that, and it's always a learning for everybody else. That's also another very good point that you highlighted, Megan. And I think, Bharati, you wanted to ask something? You had your hand raised.
Yeah, I was inspired to to share
Yeah, please do.
something.
Please do.
Um, Yesterday, Monji is in the Netherlands now, and yesterday we had the abundance and the weekly satsang here, and I was asked to make the lunch. So I took all the stuff and I got the recipes from Suba and I discussed with Karina and even Milica gave tips and I tried to do everything, correctly according to Monji's diet. And then what happened, everything was fine. My husband was helping me, but then the dal, it just didn't get cooked. It should cook in half an hour, maybe even an hour. But even after 1.5 hours, the dal was not cooked. It was still, you know, a lentil, and it was not a soupish thing. And then it was time to eat, and we had only a small time for lunch, and then weekly satsang starts. So there was, so I come with the plate. I was thinking he should eat something, so I was coming with the veggies and the puppet and the salad. But how can you eat it without, something liquid, something curry like? So I didn't know what to do. I said, Mohanji, it just didn't get cooked. I don't know why. It just didn't. And then Maria said, "Yeah, but he needs curry. He cannot eat it like that." And then Mohanji said, "Bring me curry." I said, "Yes." And I turned and I had, where can I get the curry? Out of the thin air or something? Just said, "Yes, I bring curry." I turned around and I went, where the participants were. And there was supposed to be not a big lunch, just a salad, because I informed beforehand. And then suddenly there was a curry standing there. So, and it was not supposed to be one, And suddenly there was one. So I put something, and maybe it was too spicy for him because he has strict diet, uh, requirements. But I just poured it and brought it, and he ate.
Wow,
I
Bharati.
have a fear of failure. So I was like, oh, breathe in, breathe out. And then suddenly there was a curry. So that was also a beautiful thing. Of course, he does scold me when you are there just one day. I'm sure, that's only with the people who are around him for a longer time that this is part of the education. But this was really a thing for me, and it got
Yeah,
soft.
if it's okay, I want to share one last thing because you reminded me because you said this fear of failure, and if many of you watched the weekly talks, it was on I think June 11th. No, sorry, June 14th. We had the weekly talk. Now, I am not trained in using the camera equipment, but Taya told me that she'll be traveling and it's going to be me who has to handle this. So the day before the weekly talk, we went over how to set up the camera, video mixer equipment, everything, the microphones, a few times, and I had it all down. The day of the event, I go to MPC Slovenia a few hours early, and I'm trying to set it up, and suddenly it's like everything is wrong. Honestly, I was like, I don't know what to do. No one else knows how to use this. It's only me. Taya's traveling. And at first, the only issue was an echo from the speaker because something was wrong. Then there's an electricity problem. The camera disconnects from the video mixer. Now there's not only an echo, but the camera is switching onto the laptop. And I am like, I have no idea what to do right now. Every time I get up, the assistants are telling me sit down. Mohanji's telling me no, go and fix the camera. So internally, I just said, Mohanji, are you gonna help me fix this one? Because we're 30 minutes into the satsang and everything is going wrong. I really felt this is out of my control right now. I don't know how I did it. I fixed at least the camera, even though there was still an echo. The rest of the satsang was okay. Now I'm expecting the biggest scolding of my lifetime because I just kind of did that self-blame thing. Oh, I messed up the weekly talk. There's 60 paid people in front of me and everything is a mess. I thought, what will the team think of me? The team is not just Mohanji's team, they're my friends. So I'm thinking, oh, they're gonna be so pissed. We go home and no one says a thing. And I just was like, why Mohanji's not saying anything? So he's eating and I said, I'm really sorry. And he just asked me what happened. And I said, I think when they moved the speaker, the video mixer got unplugged. Like I can't even understand what happened. And he just didn't say anything, continued eating. And then Taya is messaging me saying, it's not your fault. I told Mohanji it's not your fault. Everyone is suddenly saying it's not your fault. So for me, that meant a lot because I always had this fear of if I make a big mistake, what will my close loved ones think? You know, will they be mean? Not mean, but will they be like harsh on me? And they weren't. And I was like, whoa, this is huge. And the next day, I had to do it 3 times, do these camera equipment for online meetings. Everything went smoothly. Now it's my last day in Slovenia. We have, what did we have? We had a satsang with Scotland that we were going to do again in front of a group of people at Slovenia. And then we were going to have silence with Mohanji right after. And this time I said, I'm going to go extra early and I'm going into the temple and I'm going to pray to Sai Baba, please don't let there be any equipment mistakes ever again. And I did. Everything went smoothly. And I was like dumbfounded because I did everything the exact same way I did it the day where there were all these hiccups. And some of the team members just said to me that they felt this was meant to happen because now we need other people across the foundation to get trained and you were the medium. And of course I had this feeling, why do I have to be the medium? But after doing some thinking, I just felt, you know, this is cleansing my own fear of a failure, my fear of mistakes. How will my loved ones, even a huge deal like Mohanji, will feel when you're right next to him and this much stuff is going wrong? And finally, when things went right, it really felt empowering to, even though I'm the person behind the camera, it felt really empowering to get to Mohanji's online events right with hundreds of people joining, by the way. So I totally understand that fear of failure. And I guess it took a big mishap to happen to kind of not get over it completely, but see that, no, it's okay. And the Mohanji family really is a family. And I have huge respect for them, even more after that they treated me with kindness and accepted me. That's why I think Mohanji family is amazing.
It's very true, right? How beautifully, very gently he just empowered you with this. It's amazing. How
Oh.
lovely. Because I remember this June incident, and he said, "Oh, there is a problem with the mics. Everybody is sitting there." Something he made a comment also. It was in jokingly he made a comment. So yeah, that happens. And the Monji family, when you say, it is amazing, because recently we published something happened. One testimonial we had published recently, and this person wrote to me saying, And so first time she is written, I think, and she wrote to me saying, "I'm so happy that you published. I feel I belong and I feel part of the
Mm.
family." I was so actually touched. For me, it was like a, my routine job. I was doing that. But
Yeah.
when the person spoke to me like that, it made such an impact on me, and then I was thinking how little things that we do matter because we are all one large family. And when you said that, I just remembered this also. So it's beautiful, Megan, the little things that you said, such big takeaways for all of us. And I think Bharati has also got something to share. Yes, Bharati, please do.
Yeah, just as a
She's just
reaction
come.
on what you said. Thank you so
Okay.
much for sharing. And
Uh,
even I was thinking, can you hear me?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I was thinking, how on earth can I not make a dal? I've made hundreds of dals. And it has never happened that this is not becoming a dal. It must be just some joke of Mohanji that exactly at this special time that I'm to get to cook for him, it is not becoming a dal, and it was an essential thing. And then he was giving somehow the solution by sending somebody out of the blue, bringing
Yeah.
some curry. And then when he went and he passed by me, he took my hand, in the crowd. I was standing, he took my hand and he said, "Thank you for the lunch."
Ah.
We were only like, "Oh, so sorry for the doll. Oh, sorry, this, that." We were all in the guilt mode, my husband and me. Thank you for the lunch. He's so sweet.
Oh,
He
beautiful.
knows,
He's so sweet.
yeah, he knows scolding doesn't help me because I'm already nervous. Yeah,
Lovely, Bharti. I think
thank
Preeti
you.
also has something to say. Yes, Preeti.
Jai Mohanji, everyone. Emoji is very sweet and cute, but sometimes he's cheekily sweet. He knows what he's doing and where we have missed out. Just an incident to share. In 2019, there was this Rishikesh retreat, and then we were proceeding to Badrinath and Kedarnath. So now you imagine a satsang hall where father is sitting and he is talking about Sai Baba, something to do with Sai Baba, narrating some story of Sai Baba. And I think there are close to 80 to 100 people in the satsang hall. And as usual, the Guru Light stall is at the side. And I'm like, okay, I've arranged everything. We checked twice whether everything is there and everything. So we were like very confident that if Moji asks us anything, we just have to take it from the table and give it to him, And then he finished the story of Sai Baba and he's asking, can you hand me a book of the boy who walked with Sai Baba? And I'm like, yeah, I think even Preeti was there with me. I don't remember, or I was alone at the stall. Mamu came frantically. He's like, Moji wants this book. And we are looking at all the crates and on the top of the table. And we had got everything. And only that one book hadn't made it to Rishikesh. It was left out. And I'm like, oh my God, Father, there are 99 books and you only want the book which has been left out. And it's very scary at that time. You feel as if you have let your guru down or something, but then he was very
Mm.
calm about it. And then whenever he used to look at me, now I used to look down because I had that in mind that we didn't have the book that he wanted. But throughout, till Kedarnath, till our retreat got over, he did not ask anything, only that one book which we had forgotten to
He's giving
add.
you more chances.
Yes. So I just remembered that, So he's very cheekily sweet at times. He knows, okay, these people have forgotten. Let me just pull them up in a good way for that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Lovely, Preeti. That's a really funny one also. Of
yeah,
course, when you're not in the receiving end.
yes.
Yeah, but
Now when I think
thank you.
of it, it is really funny. That time I really was like, oh my God, now what?
Yeah,
And the
I
entire
think
satsang hall and all the people in the satsang hall are looking towards the right, towards the counter. When are they going to get the book? And I'm like, oh God, what is happening?
wow.
Amrita, you're muted.
Yeah. Maybe he knew that is the one book you have not carried. That is why he asked for it.
Exactly, exactly. He knew it. He knew it. And that is the only reason he asked for that book. Like, that was my bit. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, Pooja, you want to say something?
Yeah, so now what we have started doing is after Preeti's experience of this, now we've started carrying extra books. Okay. Same thing happens.
Yeah.
Whenever he's asking for something, somehow or the other, we can't see it. 5 minutes later, we'll find it, we'll go running and give it to him. But that particular moment, we just miss things. And now that we, Preeti, me, all Amrita, Tai, all of us man the Guru Light stall, so they're all witness to this. I feel very very happy doing this Guru Light stuff. I'm standing there now. Mohanji will come now. Mohanji will not come there. I will turn, go somewhere for 5 minutes, and he will visit the stall. This has happened multiple times, and now I've given up on him. That he will not see me sitting there on the counter. Then, during his birthday, I had a fall, had a major surgery after that, and everything. And we went for something else. Some days after that, we went back to uh, the ashram. So Manji's we had the silence meditation, and then we were all coming back. So we got a message from the ashram that whoever is attending, come inside. Mohanji wants to talk. We went in, standing. Mohanji was in the Gaushala. We all went to the Gaushala, came out. Everybody is just, we're just roaming around him and everything. He turns around, asks me, how's your hand now? I said, Mohanji, it's fine now. I'm not worried. You are taking care of it. Yeah. Stand on this Guru Light stand. You should go and stand there. He knew that I am waiting for him to come. He doesn't come. And then he keeps telling me that you should go and stand there. So he knows what we are saying and doing.
And even during this Shirdi last year, 2025, for 3 days, 4 days, we had the entire store and all tables filled up, five tables. We had kurtas, we had this, we had that. Then the Maitri meet started. So a lot of Guru Light team left with the merchandise. So I had very limited merchandise. And that was the day he decided to visit the stall and
Yes.
not when it was fully, like, when we had fully like laid out everything, every item in our list. And only when there are 10 items there, he's like, oh, this is all. I said, Father, there was so many things. There were so many things before. Only this is what you have now. I said, yes, Father. And he just walked off. I said, he didn't come for 3 or 4 days. Huh? He wanted to come on the last day and see. So he really puts you in a spot, but he's the only one who can, like, take you out also.
And he enjoys it. Huh?
So,
He enjoys doing that to all of us.
so I can resonate so much with that camera story and the dal story. It truly
So
happens.
Bharti, we all have our dual stories. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Even after that, we organized like herbal tea, and I heard Monji's not drinking coffee, only herbal tea. So we organized all the herbal tea. Then when Monji almost left, I said, Monji, can I get you something before you go? Do you have chai? And we didn't have chai, Indian chai.
Oh.
I was, oh my God, next time I have chai.
And then he won't need it.
No, then he doesn't want it. It's just to be flexible, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Gosh, this is funny, really. Each of your sharing, it's simply hilarious, simply funny because it shows, right, how he's so alert, he's aware, he knows exactly what we are doing, what we are thinking, and wherever we are, whatever we are doing. So yeah, so I think we'll wrap up for today. And Megan, a huge thank you for such an interesting sharing. And to all of you who shared, Preeti, Amrita, Bharati, Pooja, everyone, and those of you who are all present here today to listen to Megan, on Zoom Live. Thank you all so much for taking this time and coming, and a big hug to you, Megan. We hope to see you again soon with more experiences. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank
you.
you,
so much.
Meghan.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, team.
Megan.
Thank you, Meghan, and entire